So, hello, fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And kiss the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. It's easy enough to say, right? Well, I think we really should. What is it? We should lean into it. As always, I am Earthling, yada yada yada. I have an MBA, computer science degree, and I am trying to learn mathematics because I want to learn relativity. Anyway, that's it for me. Really short one. So I think that we should learn to kiss the messenger and not kill the messenger because honestly, it's really easy. It's the first thing that you want to do when you encounter somebody telling you something that you don't want to hear. You would prefer, the knee-jerk reaction is to just get rid of the person, to just disregard whatever they might be saying. I mean, for example, YouTube comments or something like that. I know for myself that, I'm not even just talking about people who are telling you something that is unpleasant. I think that we should probably lean into haters, people who are telling us stuff that we don't want to hear about ourselves. Because one of the things that I think is important in life is to build up a thick skin, to build up a callus. And I know that there are issues like depression that are out there, suicidal thoughts, the whole gamut of things that can happen. But even knowing that, I think that it can be important to try to build up that kind of ability to not take negativity to heart. And the only way that you can do that is by encountering it. It's kind of like, of course, not to damaging degrees. It is in many ways, I think, like exercise. You can have too much exercise. You can exercise poorly. You can not have enough sleep so that you don't recover from your exercise. But at the same time, exercise is not something that for many people is a pleasant experience. It's something that is hard but beneficial. It's like eating your greens or something like that. It's something that we go through and it might benefit us in the same way that kissing the manager might do as well. I know, for example, in my case, that I remember the neighbor was telling me that because I live on a hillside, so the neighbor was saying that there was a chance that, water was leaking. I guess it's groundwater is leaking through his retaining wall onto his property. And the neighbor was just kind of pointing that out to me, I think. And for me, I would want to hear about stuff like that because there's always, if you live on a hillside, no matter how well you think that the situation is, there's always a risk of something like, some kind of a landslide or something like that. So I would never want to just shrug off something unpleasant that someone might be telling me because it might be a way to get around danger or difficulty in the future. And who would want that situation where you're thinking, oh my God, I could have avoided this situation just simply by paying attention to what this person is telling me. I mean, we see situations like this all the time when it comes to movies. For example, somebody might be cheating on somebody else, and then you go and you tell that person that the other person is cheating, and it destroys your friendship. And of course, in the end, the inevitable happens anyway. The person discovers for themselves, perhaps, that their significant other has been cheating, and not only have you lost a friend who's been trying to warn you of something bad that was going to happen potentially, but you've lost your relationship that you were going to lose more than likely anyway. Your friend was just trying to get you out of that situation beforehand. And at least for me, you know, I don't know that I've been in a situation where I have I tried to smother my own ego a lot. I remember there was a time when, you know, depending on what era you're in, and if you watch Star Trek, there would be instances where different people might die on an away mission, for example, because somebody has to die. And you know it's not going to be any of the core crew. And I would try to, my gut instinct was that I was going to be like Picard or what's his name, or any of the captains. And we all look at ourselves like that. But, you know, even Picard and all of these people were extras in somebody else's movie. So the idea is that we can always be an extra in somebody else's movie. And at the end of the movie, we are just an extra in somebody else's movie. Life goes on. So it always pays, I think, never to have too much pride and think that you're above getting advice from anybody, just about anybody. I mean, we just look at the classic example of the emperor not having clothes, and we can see that even a child can give you that kind of feedback that maybe everybody else is afraid to say. But, I mean, in the case of the emperor not having any clothes, okay, great. Let's say, for example, only intelligent people can see the clothes. That's not clothes that you want to be wearing anyway, because even if that is the case, it means all the dumb people can see that you're naked. So you don't only want to be, you don't need that kind of range of supposedly smart people seeing your finery and everybody else just seeing that you're naked. You know, on this issue, I would like to say that I'm that person who is always honest with everybody, but I'm not. I am only going to risk things when it's somebody that's really close to me, where our relationship can survive the potential trauma of risking telling someone the truth. You know, if you have a new relationship with someone, friend, or whoever it might be, you probably don't want to risk doing that. But at the same time, I also do respect if somebody can be honest with me. You know, there have been times in my life when people have honestly told me that, oh, you smell, or your breath might not be that good, or might be not be that fresh. And I have at times told that to people as well. And I've tried to put it in as diplomatic way as possible. When people have told me, I've tried to be like, okay, right. I never turned back at them and was like, oh, well, you suck too. Well, I'm trying to remember the exact instances. And those sample instances that I would like to point to in life, I don't think that I listened as well as I should have. I was not negative in response to the other person, but at the same time, I probably should have took a more time to make sure that I completely eliminated that weakness from my life at that time. It probably would have helped me a lot better. When it comes to smoking, okay, wow, that would have been one of the because you know other people kind of have their own timetable for you to quit, and if you're a smoker, your timetable is later. It's not a specific date, it's later. And I guess what happens with a lot of people is that I already knew that my breath was not too savory on my own because I could smell it. I could taste the cigarette residue in my mouth. And, yeah, there was a guy in class that every 5 minutes, when I went out and I smoked a cigarette and I came back into the enclosed room, I guess he would breathe in, breathe out. You stink, he would say, this big guy. And I deserved it, and I felt like I deserved it. And I did. And that, I really wish that I could have done something about that a lot sooner. I don't know exactly. I guess you have to be in the right place and time. You know, people say things about, oh, well, look at the Romans. They were like this, and the other people, they were like that. One of the reasons why the Romans probably persisted and existed for a really long time was because of the geography of where Rome was. Apparently, it was surrounded by swamps, and anybody who came to invade it, a lot of them would get infected by whatever diseases were harbored by the mosquitoes, I presume, that were in that area. So it wasn't per se necessarily that the Romans were so much more fantastic. And in the same way, people who are able to have a certain personality, or when your time comes and you actually quit smoking, it could just be because of the quote unquote societal geography or your position with respect to support or anything else in life. And it might not have really that much to do with your own personal strength. So I guess in a way, your ability to present the messenger with a proper welcome might be dependent on the stage of life that you're in, but it also could be dependent on just trying to maintain that idea and being appreciative of people who tell you stuff that you might not want to hear. I think one of the things about power corrupting is the idea that, someone, for example, like Mr. Trump, would just surround himself with yes men, and as a result, there would be no speed bumps towards something bad happening, because everybody would just smooth the way forward, and there wouldn't be anyone to say, hold up, maybe we should throw up a stop sign here or make the road a little bit bumpy. Maybe this is not the path that we should be taking. Anyway, I guess that's it for me. Maybe we should all try to kiss the messenger. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe, any of those random things, in the same way as you would like anybody else to give you feedback if it was something that you produced. So have a good one. Peace.